welcome back to the Convene podcast. I'm Christy Farmer.
And I'm Tameshia Weaver.
And we are here to share strategies with you to help you take your business to the very next level and beyond.
Right, that's facts.
Let's get to it. So what's been going on with you and Car Hops?
Hey, look, this literally is what I look like on a daily basis, okay? I'm going to have a Car Hops t-shirt or hoodie on and typically some joggers. So I feel so comfortable today. This is probably going to be my zhuzh.
Yeah, look.
No, but you absolutely look great.
Thank you. This is how I look when I go out the house. Okay. When I'm in the house, I look like that, which I do spend most of my time in the house. But when I go out for events, then I put on a little extra. So this is a little extra.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I need to actually get to the point where I can find more reasons to get out of the house. So that is going to be a goal.
Hashtag goals.
Yeah, that is going to be a goal of mine for this next few weeks. This is my season. Like the springtime, the warm weather. Like I literally could live in a place where there are no seasons. If it could just be warm, consistently warm, and then I'm near a body of water, that's my happy time. Like I'm good. I'm all
in
good.
Atlanta, you're definitely not near a body of water.
Right. So again, goals is I would be moving to somewhere else where I can drive to the beach or
nice.
Just do my thing. So just really excited about life right now. Excited about all the things that are coming up and the projects that we're finally getting off the ground and are making waves. So just excited. How about you?
Things are going great as usual. Even if they're not, we're going to say that they are, but they actually really are going great. Working on some new goals for my, but not even really new goals, but revamping as we're going into a new season. It's time to go back and reflect on where we were, where we want to go in a new season, creating new marks. And then I like to fall back or back plan from the goal, and then making sure that I'm doing things that are actually income producing activities, because I definitely fall into doing the things that are for the business that are easy, that come comfortable. It's easy to do the easy things that come comfortable that aren't always producing
the fun things.
Income. Yeah, the fun stuff. And fun stuff typically ends up being the things that are easy for us. Like this podcast, coming here and talking and sharing strategies and tips is easy for me. Right. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to produce the income if nobody's in here listening to us.
Facts. And even with that, so we had an amazing first show. Our second show is amazing as well. But I can tell when it comes to income producing activities that need to be done to make sure that more people are watching. I can tell the first week we were go.
Right.
The second week it was like, okay, we must have had too much on our plate. We must have had things, So, that is what we want to talk about today is after you have the goal, make sure that you're doing what's producing, what's going to help you get closer to the goal, right?
Yeah.
And what to watch out for, because again, like you said, it's easy to do the fun things, but when you have to kind of get down and really do the grunge work, that's where a lot of the times you won't reach your goal because you're not doing those activities, right?
Right.
So okay, I attended one of the most amazing events hosted by the Christy Farmer back in, was it January?
It was in January. Yeah, I need to plan the next one.
Please do.
It's supposed to be next month.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, go.
I know.
Next month, like April or May?
Yeah, April, because that would make it quarter two.
Right.
And so we need to reevaluate where we are in comparison to where the big plans, because everybody makes those big plans in January. And so it's time to do the mastermind. So I am planning that.
So let me tell you about this event. Christy invited me to this. And did you call it a vision board? It wasn't a...
It was taking vision board to another level.
Right.
So it was more so, vision boards look great. They're cute and all, but it's actually, it was goal setting. It's really goal setting.
It was the work that we did before we even put one vision down. Like it was amazing. I don't know if you want to talk us through it or just give us a highlight of how you actually, got us through the project, but it was life-changing for me. I on the way home, I'm talking to Lancer about it. I'm telling everybody I know about it. Like, I feel like everybody should be able to do this. to be able to do it as a convening and as with a group of
like-minded people,
right, was amazing, because even the interactions and the conversations that were happening, the connections that were made that day was amazing. I'm still connected to a lot of the women that were there, but I definitely want you to share what was the difference, because most of the times you go and you get like magazines, everybody's telling you to bring your magazines and bring a a poster board and come
stickers
with your scissors and your glue and all of that. And that's what I expected. Right. I literally came with that expectation. Right. I had no clue of what was really going to happen that day. And what happened that day changed my life. And I want you to really
that's the hashtag goals. That's the goal of the. And I do like taking it to a whole nother level. And it's hard because it's become, I feel, so commercial about making, which is a great thing, because before the commercial thing, people weren't making vision boards. So I don't take anything away from that at all. But like I was explaining then, I don't want it to be where you're just cutting out things, the usual skinny picture of the woman working out. And that's not what you're going to do, because you're not there yet. It's what you want, but what are the steps you're going to do to get there? Right. So what I start off is, one, setting the mood. So having the music playing and just having you close your eyes and think about 10 years from now, where do you want to be? Like, not where you think you will be, not where you take in consideration where you currently are, but if God just opened up the gates of all things great and you got exactly what you wanted from 10 years now, what would that look like? And then walking you through, like asking you questions like, what does that look like for your kids? What does that look like for your business? What does that look like for you as a person? What does that look like for learning? In the world, where would you want to be, say you visited in the next 10 years? Like taking away, I don't have the money for the passport, or I don't know how I'm going to cover the running of my business while I'm in Spain for a whole week. If all things were as
Just
it were,
would
you be in Spain for a whole month? Yeah. Then put it down. And then we backtrack. Like making that list of like 50 things. That
was amazing, because I think I maybe got into like 42 or 43, and but looking around, some people could.
It's hard
at that
to do.
moment, I realized that I feel like when we get older, maybe our imagination starts to not be as wild and as crazy as it was when we were little. Like, I'm sure if you were to ask me at 9 or 10 years old, if within the next 10 years, what would you want to have? What would you want your life to be?
You'd be an astronaut, you'd be a doctor, and you'd have had 3 kids, you'd have had the perfect husband, you'd have had all at the same time. You'd have had 4 cars, your mom would have been living in the house. I mean, as a kid, none of the practical things come into mind, like how that's going to make it happen. Like, you're going to be the doctor, you're also going to be the actress, you're going to be the basketball player. Like, kids will tell you they're going to be 20 things, and
look at you like, and that's
and
what
why
I'm
will
going
I
to
not
do.
be right? Like what you was trying to say.
We have to get back to that attitude.
Exactly.
And so that experiment or that project that we did, that it really kind of got me back to my childlike imagination, right? And that's why I said it was life changing, because I had not spent, I don't even know how long it was, maybe 15 minutes.
The time.
Yeah, I have not spent 15 minutes idolizing and thinking about what the next 10 years of my life was going to be. I'm so in like the minutia of running life and running business and doing things that I did not even give myself 15 minutes to think about what fabulous life I am going to create for myself in 10 years.
That's the word, creating. We actually have the ability to create whatever life we want, but you have to start with thinking about what you want to create, and then thinking about, it's the time to think. I'm reading, what is his name? But it's the 5 steps or 5 levels of leadership. Okay. And it talks about that, like at level 4. No, it is, I can't think, his name's gonna come to me in a minute, but if you just Google 5 levels of leadership, his name will come up. And it's like level 5 is the ultimate. I'm not a level 5 leader yet. I know level 5 leaders. Like when they were listening to things, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's why she's a level 5 leader. I am a 3-4. Okay. I'm definitely a 3. Parts, you have to, gives you a questionnaire. And once you get 8 of the 10, that's when you're in that level. So I didn't have 8 of the 10 to be a level 4 leader. And part of that is when you're a level 3, 4, or 5 leader, you have to make time to think. At that level of leadership, you have to have time to think about what you need for your team, think about what you need for yourself. And that's why I wanted to give that group of women a time to think, because I know that is essential for everybody in that room's next level.
And you know what I like? I like the fact that you pulled us out of our own environments, and it was an in-person, because, you know, for the last 2-3 years, we are so used to jumping on a Zoom and doing it in the comforts of your own home. And let me tell you,
which means multitasking.
When I'm in the comforts of my own home or office, and I'm on a Zoom, I am maybe 25% listening to what is going on. You know what I'm saying? Because life is happening. Things are, and you have the luxury. You could be on a Zoom driving. So how in the world could you be giving your 100% or 110% attention to something when you're driving or when you're doing, you know? So I love that. I think that was a very intricate part of it, and important part is that you pulled us out of our comfort zone, because you could have saved money and just did a Zoom, and we probably would have gotten something out of it, but I don't think it would have been
at that level.
Right.
Yeah. It's very important for every level of your business to take the time. And it's Jim Rohn. That's who's the author of Jim Rohn. Yeah.
Seasons of Life.
Yep. And he did write the Seasons of Life, which is very important, something I live by now, because we typically, the spring season is a time for taking action.
Which is so,
it's the season of taking action. Now, spring season doesn't necessarily always happen in the literal 4 seasons of life, as we know, outdoors, and it could be winter outside, and you're actually experiencing in your business or in your personal life a spring season of taking action. Before you take action is a time to learn, which is winter. So we just finished the winter season, and now physically we're going into the spring season. If you took time to learn, which is why it's hard for people to stick to their New Year's resolutions, because that's the time you're supposed to be learning, but you're trying to push yourself into a whole new realm of doing something different, right? So you spend the first 3 months of the year, which is what I did this year, and my results have been so much better this year, because I spent time learning. January, February, and March, learning what I did last year, what I need to improve last year, and this spring, learning my current behavior when it came to diets, so that I could pick the correct plan for now, which is why I'm soaring in my diet right now, because I took time to learn me, learn what's going to work for me, instead of just jumping to what everybody says is hot right
January
now.
1st, you quit this, quit.
Exactly. And spring season is a time to take action on what you learn, which is why I need to meet back with the entrepreneurs and the business owners and the women that we met with in January, because now it's time to take action. Or have you taken action on those things? Because we built from year 10 back to what we would do. Like, once you have your list of 50 things you want to acquire in year 10, you then break it down, and which of those will be a 10-year thing.
Let me tell you,
which of those will be 5-year, which will be year 1. And then now we should be working on the things that we have to do in year 1 to get to the year 3 list, to get to the year 5 list, to get to when you wake up in year 10, you be like, and typically if you do that, when you get to year 10, you're going to knock out stuff sooner, because you've actually sat down, planned, and took action on the things that you wrote down. It's amazing. I need to do some more of these, and y'all need to pay to get tickets to come. That's what I need to do.
Facts. and actually, as soon as I get back home, I'm going to pull out my list to make sure that I need to have them somewhere, like especially the year 1 and maybe the year 3, have them somewhere that I can definitely see them every day. Because I actually forgot that we did that, where after we wrote all of the things down, went through and categorized them, like you said, and I'm sure I probably already
knocked out some things.
And just even me thinking about some of the things that I wrote, I'm like, okay, I can just check. So that was super dope. And then after, we wrote everything down, we backed it up, and then you showed us how to go through and actually put it on. We used like Canva, I think it was.
Yeah, so we did a digital board and I showed everyone how to print them out on like Walgreens or Walmart, whatever, CVS, whatever is closest to you. So I have 4 of them printed. I have a large one in my office. I have a large one in my bedroom. I have a smaller one in my bath. Like, I have them all over so I can physically see my vision board. And it's based on the things that I want to accomplish in 10 years, backtrack to what I got to do this year. And it's crazy, because this is how vision boards work, which is why they're important for anybody who doesn't have that concept of vision boards. Is on one of my things I want to accomplish this year is a family trip. I think I put the budget for like $10,000 for our family trip. Okay. And the initial thought was money-wise, like I need to physically put away $10,000. Well, then an opportunity opened up for us to go to one of those programs where you sit down and
30
listen
minutes
to.
and
and go listen to. I haven't been to one in years.
Right.
My
like
husband is so good.
Timeshare.
Timeshare. It was in Atlanta. It ended up being a full date. We did the little Ferris wheel thing. Okay. It was right next to the Ferris wheel thing. And then I got a new customer because the lady who was introducing us to it, the process, they moved us from one room because I guess they do a light pull on your credit. So it's like, oh, you're at this level. Like
you can afford the top tier.
Right. Right. That part. So then we got taken to another room with a lady. She's now a customer of mine because we were in there talking. And it's like, that's what the vision, I wouldn't even have thought. So now this $10,000 I was going to go to this family trip. It's not going to go to the family trip because we're going to go on this free one.
For free.
We're going to go on this free trip. So check, that's one thing off, which is the 10-year back down to 5, 3. What I can do this year, that one thing, that's not going to be free. So the $10,000 is going to happen. Now I can allocate that somewhere else. Or we can take 2 trips now.
And you just said something that was very key. When you are writing out your goals, when you're writing out the vision for your life, just write out what it is that you want. How it happens, exactly. Let God take care of that. I'm telling you, like,
and He did that,
right? And you wouldn't. I mean, who would have thought? You know what I'm saying? You.
I would not have.
How would you have put that in the plan? You know what I'm saying? So again, all you need to know is just spend time thinking. Right? Take time today to just think. Take 15 minutes to just think, because they say thoughts become things. Right? That's right. Just spend the time. Give yourself that. With no distractions. I would actually encourage you to leave the surroundings that you're normal to, like you're used to, right? Like your office, your house. Leave there. Go to a park. Go anywhere, and just think, and then let the universe and let God back into that.
And 15 minutes is great because I definitely teach, set your timer for 15 minutes, 15-minute increments. And you will be surprised how much you can get done in a 15 minutes when you're not doing other things. As women, we naturally multitask, which is not a good thing. I think we wear that badge of honor like, oh, I'm good at multitasking.
You put that on your resume when you say go for a job.
It's actually not a great thing. Right. And you don't get anything done. You don't complete things when you do it that way, or you wake up, you like half do things for sure. And cleaning, like simple thing is folding up clothes. I will see a basket of clothes, but I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. That's going to take this time. If I set that timer for 15 minutes, I can knock out a full load of clothes, fold it up, then I reset the time for 15 more minutes. I got 15 minutes to put it away. I got a load that would have been there for weeks. Forget the days, baby. That had been there for weeks. All right, and would have only got putting up because now it's 3 loads on top of it at this point. And it's taking more time for me to go and find something to wear because I haven't taken the time in the front end to just put the clothes away. Set that timer for 15 minutes and watch how much you can get done. Reels, if you need to post a reel. I don't have time to post a reel. Set the timer for 15 minutes, and then whatever product is done at 15 minutes, post it.
Whoa, wait a minute now.
Post it.
Okay.
15 minutes to take selfies. Whatever selfies you have in your phone at the end of 15 minutes, that's it. Post it. You'd be surprised. It works for me because there's so many things I could see wrong with that reel. There's so many things I could see wrong with that selfie that I've taken. But post it and then be like, dang, they really like that. Like all these comments about, you look amazing. This was great. Oh, I would have never thought, how'd you do this? And thinking to myself, like, I'd have been there 2 hours looking for the perfect one. Thing, but I set that time for 15 minutes and that works for everything in life. Like even if it's something that's going to take you 2 hours, break that 2-hour project up into 15-minute increments.
I wonder what it is about like the 15 minutes.
It's literally the timer itself. Because what I will do, if the timer is set, then because a million things pop in my mind during that 15 minutes. During that 15 minutes while I'm phoning calls, it's like, oh, but I need to do this. Oh, let me write this thought down. Oh, we need to talk about this during the podcast. And normally I would leave the laundry and go do that thing, which during that thing, like writing down what we need to talk about the podcast, because that was a great thought. We got to talk about that. Then here comes my teenager and asks me a question. Okay. And then I go do her hair. Or then while she's doing the one thing she asked me to do, and here comes a toddler, she's crying because she fell on something. Then I never make it back to the closing. So with the alarm set, that thought, I'll keep notepads beside me. I can write the thought down, right back to the close.
Right.
Daughter comes along, timer set. Like I train my household, like they understand. Timer set, 15 minutes, save it until the timer goes off. Like I will hope, because literally, what can't wait for 15 minutes?
I mean, it's 15 minutes. I mean, look.
Everything can wait.
Right. So the first of the year, we were at this vision board event. I can't even call it not even a vision board.
It was like goal setting. Okay. It was goal setting, and the end product was a physical vision board.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which you reminded me, I do need to get that printed out. So that is on my list to do. So after that, so now we have these goals, right? We were excited, we were pumped, we were amped. We have a plan for our 1 year, third year, 5th year, and 10th year, right?
Mm-hmm.
What we have in mind. Now we get home, and now what? Because we have 364 days left to get this year 1 stuff done. Now what? And I feel like the now what is, now you need to back up and you need to do micro goals and then do them consistently, mm-hmm. right?
That's true.
So Christi, I want to make an extra $1,000 a month. That's my goal.
Okay.
What are some things that I should be doing to get me to this goal?
The easiest and simplest method that has worked for me, and I now teach others, is when you take that $1,000 a month, break it down into week. Mm-hmm. So how much do you need to bring in per week?
$250.
So $250. Mm-hmm. All right. So if you break that down into 5 days, it really does depend on what you're going to do to make that money. So if it's mm-hmm. a product that needs to be sold in order to make that $250 a week, then how much product do you need to sell per day? Mm-hmm. And then if you don't have any data points to go by, right? Because if you're starting off, you don't have any data points, so you don't know that you need to show 50 of the product on Monday to mm-hmm. actually get 2 sold. Mm-hmm. Or if it's a service that you need to talk, because a service usually is purchased by a person. Right. So how many people do you need to offer the service to mm-hmm. before someone says yes? So you have to start with and track your numbers.
Right.
So if let's say it's a service and you offer the service with whatever route you decide to offer it on. So let's say it's an ad, mm-hmm. or let's say you make calls, or let's say you are going to schools. Like the service you're offering is counseling service to kids in an elementary school.
Okay.
It's a private service, but your ideal client are in elementary schools. Then you're going to approach how many schools on Monday. Mm-hmm. Once you do that for a week, and that's the thing I try to impress upon people. Like, if you want an extra $1,000 a month, you're probably not gonna make the $1,000 the first month because you don't know your numbers. Mm-hmm. You don't know what your matrices are. You have no idea. So you might do it for 30 days, and now you know that visiting 3 schools every Monday, which is 12 schools per month, got you 1 school.
Right.
And that 1 school makes you $250. Mm-hmm. Well, then you need to do that 4 times over.
Right. So that means you need to go visit more schools.
You got to go visit more schools.
Or you need to reevaluate your goal, because then at this point, or you need to increase your price. Or, so there's a lot of different ways to get to it. And so then what are some of the key things that you would tell somebody when it comes to first starting off? So again, we're first talking to people who are first starting off. They say that their goal is $1,000 a month. What are some key things that they should be doing or not doing to help them get there? So one thing that I just thought about, I'll get people to ask me all the time, okay, so I want to start this business, and I want to, they're going to design their own logo, or they're going to, get their flyers made and print their flyer, just things that they may not even, this is not their area of expertise, right? Mm-hmm. But they're going to spend their time doing these things that are not in their area of expertise, which is, I think, really a cop-out, and because they should be out there selling, right? Mm-hmm, you have to sell something. You have to get out there and you have to sell. But I feel like it's like a cop-out, or like a way for them to not do those income producing things, mm-hmm. to be able to just do I call it the frou-frou stuff, the cute stuff, So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it looks like a cop-out to people who know better. Mm-hmm. But I think for someone who is starting a business, that is what literally is thrown at them to do. Like, do you have your business cards?
Right.
Do you have your website up? Do you have your Facebook page? Do you have, literally, that's the things that I will talk to people on the back end. I did a post the other day looking for makeup artists, because my makeup artist is like an hour away.
Okay.
And people responded, my girlfriend does this and my person does this. And then the first thing I am going to go do is look, what do you have to show me that you do this? Mm-hmm. It's an Instagram page, it's a Facebook page. How can I reach out to you? All those things are in place.
Now, I will say this too. This just brought me to that, because I was actually looking for a hairstylist the other day. And when I was getting the referrals and I was going to their pages, they have more of their kids and them going out to the club and all this kind of stuff versus having the hairstyle.
And they may be the best at what they're doing.
Right.
But I can't pay you money on what people are saying.
Right.
I have to pay you money on what you do. And when I saw what people did, their prices were higher than the ones who also did it, but they didn't have anything to show for it. Mm-hmm. So I have to pay for what I see and not just go off of work, because I don't have time for you to screw this up.
Right.
Right.
And charge me $150.
I think people go to what they've been told, which also may be easier to do. Like, you're going to have, as soon as somebody knows you have a business, who's going to hit your DM first? Like, it's going to be people who can make you the business cards. Mm-hmm. It's going to be companies that go, as soon as you create a personalized email address, then Vistaprint is in your inbox. Like, buy this website and buy this. So they generally go to those things, and then they later on realize, like, I've spent all this money, have the business card, have the website, and I don't have any money coming in. Mm-hmm. I think the first point is, how are you going to get whatever you're offering in front of your customer? Mm-hmm. Whatever that is. Then when you say, I'm going to get them in front of my customer this way, then you say, what products do I need to get them in front of? Like, if getting people in front of your hairstylist, mm-hmm. right? Do you really need business cards to get people to do? No.
Right. So why are you, website.
Why are you don't even need a website.
You need a way to book.
You need pictures of your clients. Right. So the first thing you need to do is go back. Like, you don't have to physically pay for it. Think of all the people that booked with you the last month. They took pictures. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They don't have to be professional. This is the Instagram social media area.
Actually, I'd rather, if it's something like hair or, like even
nails,
and then people are doing like body contouring and stuff like that. Look, you don't need to go out and get professional pictures. I need to get the real.
The clients.
Because, right. You need the results.
Yep. So right now, if you're a hairstylist or you do a physical service for someone, then go back and look at your books. When your books might right now be in your cell phone through text messages. Right. Because that's probably where they're in your DMs. So go back to them and ask, hey, did you take a picture of your hair when I did it in September? 9 times out of 10, they did. Who leaves their hair salon without taking the selfie these days? Right. Very rarely. There's a lot of people between a certain age, a woman is going to take a picture of them nails. They're going to take a picture of the hair. They went to an event where somebody took a picture. Right. They have pictures. Ask them for those. And then put them on a dedicated free. Instagram is free.
Right.
Facebook is free. And TikTok is free.
For those type of services, Instagram should be your lookbook, right?
Exactly.
I'm telling you, and if you want to share your personal life, that is fine. Do it in the stories or have a personal page. But when I come to your business page, when I come to see, and I'm not going to stay there for long. I'm not going to look past 5,000 dog pictures to find the one hairstyle that you did. Like, so you need to have, this needs to be all this on your page.
Exactly. And you can't compare your chapter 1 with somebody's chapter 13. Because honestly, once you've built a following, and there's a lot of strategies that you do at the beginning that once you have a following, you can get away with going outside the book, right? Like, I have a huge following. At this point, there's a certain things that I'm not going to do that I'm going to tell somebody else to do because my following is strong. And based on the business I'm in, they want to see my lifestyle. I literally grow because of people seeing that my lifestyle produces this kind of activity, but I'm not doing hair. I'm not doing nails. So you definitely have to know who your target market is and who you service. Who do you want to service if you're just starting? Who do you want to service? Who are you currently servicing? Because I know you work with people who are already making $1,000 a week, right, in their business. So who are they currently servicing, and how do they go about getting more of those people? And honestly, the website doesn't do that unless you're driving people to the website.
Right. And that's it. One thing I always say about a website, websites are really just there for confirmation. It's to help build credibility, right?
Exactly.
Your Google business page, all of these different things are just to build credibility. One thing I realize, and maybe because I'm in business, maybe this is why I realize it, but if you tell me that you have a business and you haven't invested in certain things, I'm wondering, okay, now, is this something that you're just doing on the side, or, how are you really treating this? So I will say, again, quote unquote, non-incoming producing activities are essential at some times, but they shouldn't be the only thing that you're doing. You need to block out those times to where you are making those phone calls. You are actually getting back out. I mean, look, people are back outside.
Yes.
Get back out to where the people are. It was so amazing when we went to dinner after after our first taping, and you were like, oh, I mean, you stay ready with your product and with your cards, and you stay ready. So when you see mom, when you see your target audience, your moms and whoever's in your target audience, when you see them, you're like, this is a prime opportunity for me to go introduce myself and introduce an opportunity to them. That's an income producing activity.
And
we were
bringing them to my social media,
Right.
connecting with them then. Are you on? Because most people are on social media. And I could spend the money on ads. I have spent the money on ads. But why am I going to walk past the people who should be following me, who are outside? We're currently now in spring season. It's festival time. I don't necessarily need to book an event, but I can go to every festival. And while I'm out there enjoying the funnel cake, I'm in line with my target audience.
Prime. Look, this happened in real life. So we went out a few weeks ago to a lounge. It was in Stockbridge. It was really, really nice too. And I was in the bathroom, I was washing my hands, and a young lady come up to me and she was like, "Are you a business owner?" And I was like, "Yes." I mean, I had nothing on me that said I was a business owner.
You walk a business owner, honey. You target.
I love it. I was like, I must exude it. I love it. So she was like, yeah, so my name is, such and such, and I build websites. And I was just like, I love it. I wish I had a website for her to build, because the fact that we're in a lounge, nobody's talking business in here in the bathroom.
Right.
And she approaches me and sells her service. Most people these days will hide behind the internet, and they'll hide behind, the mobile devices, and will only talk to you that way. But you are walking past people who are ready to buy.
Exactly.
Because who knew? I mean, what if I'm, literally just put out there that I need a website done today? And I'm sure I wasn't the only person that she asked. I mean, hopefully, but again, you're missing out on a lot of opportunities when you're not just walking into this every day, like really talking about your business every day. There are plenty of people that I know that I have no clue what they do.
Yeah.
How is it that we've had a conversation and I have no clue of what you really do, like, at all? I'm like, if somebody was to ask me, about these people, I'm like, well, I don't know.
They walk around being Tommies, like a Martin. What do you do exactly?
I see something on Instagram every now and then. I don't know what they do.
Right.
So, I think that is definitely something that you can do that's free. That's an income activity or producing activity, is when you just talk about your business.
Right.
I mean, I feel like people probably get tired of me talking about our business so much, because that's.
But when it's a life, this is why I was saying, like, the word motivation just irks me, because it's like it becomes a lifestyle for that lady. It's a lifestyle for her, because she wasn't like, well, I'm going to wait till I walk into a networking event.
Right.
She created networking in the bathroom.
Man,
it's her lifestyle. Right. And the thing is, you're taking it as like, she saw that I was a business owner. But the reality is, she could have been asking every woman in there,
she better.
do you own a business? It'd be smart, right?
She better.
It'd be smart. So when you're having regular conversation with somebody, and you are a counselor of kids, and you're talking to a mom, you see somebody in a grocery store they're in front of you in line, and they are buying something that looks like, they may have kids, like they're buying Cheetos, or they're buying Cheez-Its, or they're buying baby food. Hey, so how old? I see you have baby food. How old is your kid?
Right. Context clues.
Right. Conversations. She may not be the one, but she might know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. You don't know until you open your mouth and talk to that person. And that is how you take your business to the next level. Right. It really is. That is how you give exposure. That is how you bring people to the website that you paid for. That is the reason now why you might need a business card. But if you're just starting your business and you don't have any plans on talking to somebody when you out in public, then what's your business card going to be for? Even when you hand the business card, like a lot of people don't even do physical business card, but even when you hand it to them, it's like during the process of handing it to them, are you on social media?
Right.
They grab it and you say, can we connect on social media right now?
And look, take your card back.
Can we connect on social media right now? And then then if your lifestyle is on social media, then they're going to see that. Or you have to be intentional, because there's an algorithm involved. So when I go back to my car, I put that person's name in, and when I search that name in, next time I go to Facebook, for example, and search anything, the last name I search comes up. Nice. So then it reminds me, like, oh, Tiffany, I did meet her at the grocery store. I'm going to Tiffany's page and I'm going to comment on something that she posted. And it's going to be like, she's going to be like, who is Christi? Oh, oh, that was the lady who asked about the food when we were at such and such. And then when she accepts the friendship, I'm going to send her a message and say, hey, thanks for connecting with me. I'm not going into what my business is because it's on my page. She going to see it.
Now I'm glad you brought that up too, because you do need some time. And I've learned this over the years when it comes to sales, is to build the relationship first. So I don't know who is out there giving the strategy of inviting to somebody to be your friend on Facebook. Soon as they accept, it's like you're a bot, because you immediately attack me in the DM. It's like, hey, I got such and such to sell. And I'm like, girl, who are you? Like, I mean, I accepted you one because I did it with me. If I'm going to accept you, I'm going to do a quick scan to make sure that you have something going on about business. Okay. If you don't have anything going on about business, I'm probably not going to accept you. Right. So, there's some strategy, must be out there that, go on to Facebook and as an income producing activity, just DM everybody, even if you don't know them. I mean, look, I'm sure you have 500 to 1,000 people that you do know that you're already connected to on these platforms. Why don't you start building the relationships with them? You know what I'm saying? So, again, it's just a way that you go about doing things. Right. And I feel like a lot of times, again, we hide behind these devices, and because you would never go into the grocery store and just be like, hey, can you buy this? I mean, like, you would never just do that.
Yeah, some people do now. Well, I mean, people in the corner. I remember in Chicago, they were screaming, loose squares. You want a loose square? They not building no relationship.
But then they got something that people who want those needs. This is true. So if you holding up what are the water bottle, the guys, if you're holding up a water bottle and I'm thirsty, yes. But 9 times out of 10, you're not going to just walk up to strangers and just immediately go in. Right. You're going to warm up. You're going to ask, just ask them things about themselves. Just build that relationship, even if it's just within a short amount of time. Just building, just having a connection more than just making it just wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. I'm like, oh wait a minute.
I think that's the difference between a one-time customer and a repeat customer. Because if you build a relationship, they'll become a repeat customer, and if you don't, you're just throwing it at a random person who you've never had a conversation with. You don't know their needs, their wants, or anything like that. And the beautiful thing about social media is you can
do your research.
Yeah, you can literally go to somebody's page. It's like, oh, they have 3 kids. Oh, and then you go on the DM and be like, hey, I see your daughter did congratulations on such and such. And then she says, thanks. And then you ask, well, how long has she been doing that? She's been doing this many years. Oh, I know somebody who does. The conversation's there. Now you had a conversation. You'd be like, since you have kids, I was wondering if. Bam. Blah, blah, blah. Right. Hello, that's literally smooth. 5 minutes.
Just be smooth with it, okay? Right. Just be smooth. And then going back to that too, because I love the fact that you just pointed out about the fact that having, you already have people that are your network, right? Or the people that you see, being able to not forget them. So it's like, kind of like you said, like having that one-time customer versus having a relationship with customers. The people that you have the relationship with, they may have just forgotten that, you are the go-to for whatever your product or your service is. So being able to make sure that you're reconnecting with them, it takes less money to acquire or to keep a repeat customer than to go out and to get a new one. Yeah. So as an income generating activity, I challenge you this week to think about the people that you have forgotten, right? The people that you just like, oh, you know what? They're going to buy when they need me. Remind them that you're here. Remind them that you have something to sell, and, watch your sales increase this week.
Yeah. And there's a couple of ways to do that depending on, your product or depending on your service. There are emails, automated emails that for different companies are free. You can send out so many. And if you aren't making a lot of money, you don't have a lot of customers, free version is going to work for you. Right. Until you do make more money, you need to go into having repeat emails going out that cost something. Like Shopify, I can send out 10,000 emails a month for free.
Now, I will say this though, because we are going into the spring. We're in the springtime, and it is time when people say do spring cleaning. It is a good idea to spring clean your email list too, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm sure I'm on hundreds of people's email lists right now, and I don't even open them. I don't even care to open them anymore. So they should probably take me off their list. Like, save me the work from having to go through and hit unsubscribe and just notice that I have not opened an email from you within the last 2 years. So just take me off your list, right? So during this time, we're in spring, it is a good time to just go through. You can, most of the email list platforms have the way that you can sort people by, if they've opened your email or not. If they haven't, I would send them a final, and you can send them a really cool, engaging email. Mm-hmm. So reply back to this email if, whatever. And those people that reply back, okay, now they're back in your funnel. The people that still didn't open it, then you need to just politely move them out so that, that you can make space for the people who actually want to be there, mm-hmm. right? And, a lot of these platforms, yes, they are free versions, but after you get to a certain amount of people, you have to start paying, right? And so why are you paying for dead, people that are just like dead? I mean, they're not dead, but I mean, exactly. So definitely love the fact that you can, reintroduce yourself or reintroduce your product via email. What else were you going with?
Well, and I was just thinking of the things that I find to be income producing activities because the idea is that you love what you're offering and you love what you're selling. Mm-hmm. And the part that's going to get you money for selling that product or for selling that service are usually things you don't want to do. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like, you're not a master email creator. Right. You're not a master reel maker. You're not a master of, you're a master of counseling, mm-hmm. And you're a master of designing the wardrobe, mm-hmm. Creating the designs. But then none of that means anything if nobody knows that you have it.
Right.
If nobody knows that you can offer it. If nobody knows that yours is better than everybody else's. If people don't know that, then it doesn't get sold. Your mm-hmm. sales don't increase. And so email, like I said, is one thing that you can do. The social media is another thing. I know people a lot. There literally are thousands of companies out here, small business owners, entrepreneurs who are running for the hills away from social media, which is literally leaving a lot of money on the table. If nothing else, than having a page that you post something on once a week. Mm-hmm. Just so
quality, of quality.
Yeah. And quality is open to there's next levels to the quality, right?
When I say quality,
going from nothing to something.
what would help people? What people would want to see, right? So people always say, okay, well, when it comes to social media, as long as you're either going to be sharing some information, so people are learning, are you entertaining them,
right?
Making sure that it's so. I mean, you posted a picture of your dog ain't moving the needle for nothing. Okay, it's not moving the needle. Yeah, they are dog lovers, and maybe if you have dog products and stuff like that, but making sure that it's actually something that people want to see. Right.
And then creating a budget for it. Literally your social media budget. There's Fiverr that you can go to. There's a teenager in your neighborhood. Your friends, kids that you could pay them to come take a picture and post it for you on social media once a week, mm-hmm. and outsource that part so that literally people just have a place to go to when they Google mm-hmm. and are looking for, there's so many people who've gotten my money mm-hmm. because I Google and there's not a website, but there's a Facebook that comes up. Mm-hmm. There's an Instagram that comes up, and I can send them a message real quick and they respond back. And there's so many other companies who didn't respond back, don't have a Facebook. I'm searching around trying to find them, or have my biggest pet peeve is you have the website, you have the contact box where I put in my name, mm-hmm. I put in my number, I put in my email address, and I haven't heard back from you.
You don't get anything.
I get nothing.
Right.
And you've literally lost because I'm ready to spend. I found you, mm-hmm. I searched for you. Mm-hmm. What is the point of having the website if you're not going to man it, or you don't have somebody else who's going to man it? How are the results? When somebody completes the contact information, where do you get that notification? Does that mm-hmm. come to you as a text? Where you I got an email and to respond to it? Is it going to a inbox that has 20 million other emails in it? And so, mm-hmm. Or can you have one email address mm-hmm. that only those emails come to?
Right.
And it might just, when you're a small business, I may just be the one person in 30 days who sent you an email, but now you're short mm-hmm. of one customer. And I'm loyal, and I tell people about, if I have good service, mm-hmm. My social media is going to know.
Right.
I tell people, literally, I was telling you about the lady that I'm going to go to a makeup class for, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to post pictures. People who follow me are going to want to know where I went to this makeup class, right? And she's going to get other clients. It's automatic for me. Mm-hmm. That's why when I book people, I'm thinking to myself like, you just don't know what you missed out on. I spread the love. You will get repeat customers from me.
That word of mouth business is like no other.
Right. So what are some other things that you would say? Like, I know I've left some things out because you like on another level than I am.
No, but like I said, it's really, for me, it's getting back to the basics. And again, because anything can work, you just have to be consistent.
Gotta work it.
You have to be consistent at doing it. And starting off the week right with calling 10 extra people or 10 people that haven't purchased from you is great. But if you didn't get to that 50, if your goal was to get to 50 people and you only met 20, like you don't know what the outcome could be, right? So definitely being consistent. And I think every industry is going to be different, but really, I guess, kind of making sure that you're doing. The other thing I want to mention is doing what your competitors are doing. Okay, so if you're not even doing what they're doing on the most basic level, then, and you're just starting out or you're trying to grow, you got some work to do there. So making sure that you just kind of research and figure out in your industry what are all the things that should be done, and just making sure that you do those things. Yeah. Like I said, it's different for every industry, but the main thing is to do the grunge work and do it consistently.
Yep. I think the simplest thing, I like how you wrap that up. And if I would add anything to it, it'd be, what made you money last week? How can you repeat that, double that, and triple that? That's the simplest method. Like if your money was made last week because you did one hairstyle, how can you increase that to 2 hairstyles? If what made you money last week was counseling one person, how did you get that one person, and how can you make that 2 people, 3 people, 4 people? Keep flipping it until you get to the next level and consistently doing. And what didn't make you any? What were you spending a lot? Because I hear consistently doing things that you can do the wrong thing consistently and get no results.
Filler work. Like just busy work. That's what it's called in school, busy work. Just keep your mind, just keep you occupied. So we're not going to do busy work, okay, ladies? We are actually going to make sure that what we are doing
is income producing activities.
Income producing. Yes, I love it. This is good. And actually, again, I should just start bringing my notebook, because you know what? Don't worry about it. Because when I'm going through and watching the replays like I do 50,000 times, then I'll just take my own notes. But this is good.
Because we also like, subscribe, and follow, so you can take the notes on repeat. Because this is going to come back up. You're going to hit a spot where you're going to be like, what? Let me go watch that again.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So go ahead and share this out. Till the next time. Back
here with Convene with the Strategy Team.
All right.